Hi everyone, welcome back to Dr. RCM Academy. So, in this session we are going to see how to find out the length of a list using len function. Immediately after that we will also see how to concatenate two lists. Concatenate means joining two lists and also how to replicate the list. After that we will see how to change a value of a list based on the index value. Then we can also see del function, del statement. So, how it can be used to remove the values from the list. Let us take one by one. Let us start with how to find a length of a list. Now, I will consider one list. Let the list be spam, which is equals to, I have three elements in it, cat, dog and mouse. So, if I consider few elements in a list and I want to find out what number of elements inside this list, that is called length of a list. Length of a list is nothing but, so number of elements inside the list. Therefore, to do this, suggest I should use a keyword called len of spam. Spam is a name of the list. Suppose if I give what is len of spam, it should give you the number of elements inside the list. Therefore, it gives us 3. If I consider a list with no elements in it, then what will be len of spam? It will be 0. That means, there is no elements in that. So, whatever the number of elements in the list, so it is going to give you the length of the list, how many elements are present inside the list. In the previous sessions, we have seen how you can concatenate two strings. Now, we will see how to concatenate two lists. Suppose if I consider two lists here, L1 is equals to 1, 2, 3. I have considered list 1, which consists of 1, 2, 3, and I will make L2 the other list. So, I will call it as 4, 5 and 6. These are the elements of the two lists. Now, if I want to concatenate these two, then I can simply say L1 plus L2, which means that plus is an operator. So, which can concatenate two lists. Therefore, the new list that what we are forming is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will take another example. Now, if I say L3 is equals to L1 plus L2, which means that, so these two lists will be concatenated and it will be stored in L3. Suppose if I say, so what is L3? If I ask what is L3, it gives you, it is a combination of L1 and L2. In this case, I have modified L1 for ABC, whereas L2 was same as 4, 5, 6. Therefore, these two lists, list 2 and list 1. So, it has been concatenated as L1 plus L2. Therefore, you get list 1 first, followed by list 2. Now, we will see what is list replication. So, replication means that, so you have to repeat that list number of times. Let us consider list 1 as 1, 2, 3. So, if I want to repeat this list for 5 times, then I can simply say L1 into 5. Then it says that L1 is repeated 5 times. This is called replication. So, here into is an operator which acts as a replicator, and immediately followed by, so you should indicate an integer how many times this list has to be repeated. Now, let us see how can you modify the values in the list based on the index values. So, if I know the index values, I can modify the values of those respective indexes. Now, let us understand this by considering one list email which has 3 elements in it, Dr. RCM Academy gmail.com, list 1 at gmail.com and list 2 at gmail.com. Now, I want to modify one of the element in the list, because I understood that there is something missing in it. So, I want to type at, right. So, for an email, so there should be at gmail.com. Therefore, if I try to print what is email, so it gives you all the elements in list, and now I found that there is some error in it. So, which means that I should give at. So, I know what is the index value of the first element, that is 0, right. So, now I will modify this email of 0, that means 0th index. So, I will try to modify it as, so instead of Dr. RCM Academy, I will use Dr. RCM Academy at gmail.com, because at was missing in the previous. Now, it is giving you error because so I should give it as a string. Now, if I ask the Python what is the list Gmail, you can see that it is updated. So, at is available in the email list. This is how you can modify the list if you know the indexes. Now, let us see what does del statement does in Python. Del indicates it is delete. So, if you want to delete any element in the list, now I have considered there are 3 elements in a list email, and let me delete the first element in the list. I know what is the index value of the first element, it is 0. So, if I want to delete the 0th index, then so I can simply use del followed by so your list name, that is email, and in the parenthesis, so you have to give the index value. So, if I use del email of 0, so 0th element of the list email, 0th element of the list email is been deleted. To check that, so again I will print what is email. So, now if you can observe that the first index value is been deleted, 0th index value has been deleted. So, you come up with only 2 elements instead of 3. This is how you can remove an element based on the index value using del statement. And after deleting, the index value of the list will automatically update. That is, index value before I delete, it was 0 for this element. Similarly, this is 1, index value was 1 for this element, and index value was 2 for this element. Now, the index value of this, previously it was 1, now it will become it is 0. If I want to know that, you can simply say list element with 0, which is the 0th index of the email list. It gives you this is the 0th element. So, automatically it is going to update the index value after you eliminate any element in it.